So Graham is starting, and Graham is on the right.
Oh, shut up now. You guys can commentate.
Excellent. So have you ever played either of these players, Goutham?
I've played Graham a few times, but I don't think I played Elie before.
Oh, right. Okay, that's surprising. Okay. So here we have Graham has drawn.
Same rack as before.
Oh yeah. It's amazing how these things come up. I bet he wishes he was going second.
He can just pass. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think if he passes, it's going to send out a bit of a message. But we'll see. What is the other letter? I can't quite see it on the end there.
He can probably bingo with it, regardless of what the tile is.
Yeah. It looks like it, doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to see a totally reasonable play there, Hobia, which scores and balances, and no problem with that at all. Gets rid of two of the clunky consonants and leaves BI. Here we've got a definite bingo here. We're going to see a bingo coming down from Elie, providing he's not too nervous to miss it.
I think there's actually only one. There's only one through the key.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it looks perhaps more promising than it really is, especially with what he's got.
Because his last tile.
He's got to go through, but. I remember the play at Boito being played on my first visit to the King's Cup in Bangkok, and it was played in the final between Pagone Mitmansuk and Mark Nyman. And I thought, how the hell did these players know words like Aboito? Of course, Aboito is a 5-voweled 8, and I've since learnt through my experiences in the game that all the top players learn the 5-voweled 8s, and it's amazing how frequently that they come up, and they are missed. And so we're going to see if Elie does miss Aboito, and wait a minute, he has missed it. There we go, and he knows it for sure. There's no doubt of that at all that he knows it, and he hasn't spotted it. And again, Goutham, that's one of the occasions where you have this heavy vowel rack, and you don't look at, perhaps you don't even think about the E too much, bemoaning your fate that you haven't got a consonant to play through that might have, made something like, I don't know, azoturia or topsia, something like that, or autocoid. But in the end, he misses the bingo. So there we go.
Well, I mean, he just gets a better bingo now, so it's not the end of the world.
No. Again, that's Scrabble. It's certainly never the end of the world, just by making a mistake, especially early on. Here we have Jiao, which is seems reasonable.
Which means it's time to look for 9-letter words again.
Here we go. That holy grail of Scrabble, the 9, 10, and even 11 or more letter words, which are so famous when they're played by players like Nigel Richards, and are so delightful when they're played by mortals such as ourselves. Meanwhile, I don't think we're going to see any problem this time. Both of them have got lovely racks. Boat is on the right, which is very nice, and several possibilities with the blank on the left there for Elie, and it's Ellie's turn next. He's going to catch up here, and we'll see what he plays. He's decided to go for Rotunda, which makes perfect sense. It gives away very little. So does that mean that that we're not going to see a bingo back from Graham?
Well, why not? He can just play both these.
Oh, sorry, sorry. We've got the AIA, so he's going to put Boaties down anyway. So there's no problem. We can't imagine that he's going to miss Boaties. So again, this is going to be Graham's going to take a lead in a minute. We would expect. Rotunda was nice.
Fantastic tiles already. You just need some vowels. Oh, okay, never mind. That didn't work.
No, it didn't. He's not got enough vowels. He's got an O and an A to go through, and an I possibly. So so here we've got the position where Elie is going to have to play off a couple of consonants, maybe 3, and balance his rack, and hope for a bingo on the next turn. He can do that in a number of ways. What way would you suggest? Just on a cursory look there, Goutham, what way would you suggest he might accomplish a balance there?
I would be tempted to play PONT under Boaties, but I think you can also just throw away maybe Dopant or this APT even. There's some options available.
Would you advocate playing more tiles here or fishing?
It depends how much faith you have, really. Everything can go wrong. See, there's a problem.
Yeah.
The reason I don't like playing the pawn or pawn down there is just that it gives a free score.
Yeah. I'd be tempted to play opt, but what's he going to do here? He's going to play pond. Okay. I'd be tempted to play opt.
Trying the T, but I guess it's fine.
STT?
No, PONT.
Yeah. So a vowel heavy 5 vowels on the rack of Graham on the right, and he's got a small lead. He's going to have a bit of a lead here. He can
I mean, it can't be a bingo at least. So. Yeah, so it's a U, but there's still not a bingo, unfortunately for him.
So there we have a clear view of his rack there. He's got 3 T's now. Right now we have Graham Haig's turn. Graham Haigh is sitting on AEEIOHL, so we're expecting a scoring move here. Have you thought of anything there, Goutham?
He can't really occupy the spot below pawn, I guess. That's the problem.
I know. I've been looking at it, and it's not a simple matter at all, is it? I mean, he could play something like HAO and PA and BOA. I'm not sure if he wants to do that. He's played. Yeah.
I suppose it works, but yeah, I guess it works.
It works. I mean, he's keeping 2 vowels, but he's scoring. He's turning over tiles. So fair enough.
I mean, I prefer to keep at least an L or a H so you can hook the AA next turn.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'd play so many tiles there, but there we have it. He's made his choice, and howl, however that's pronounced, I'm not sure. It's a lovely looking word. He's still got too many vowels though now on this turn, so we've got the situation where Elie is a little bit consonant heavy, and Graham is still struggling with too many vowels. Pretty much. Okay, he decides to burn his S, and he plays lost.
Is it here?
I think so. He's played lost. Tossed is a word, isn't it? TOST. Would that have been better on that point there and breaking up those T's? Not mine, I guess.
Yeah, keeping the L will be fine because of the AA hook over there.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like his gambit has paid off. He drew the Q, so he can actually keep scoring for a while.
Yeah.
I can see equity straight away, which will
Which
be,
one?
The E. He can actually play the EQ ITY for a lot of points.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's gonna be able to keep scoring. And that's keeping scoring on a tight board, so he's going to be feeling pretty good about himself here.
So well, that counts as luck side, I guess.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's Graham on the right to play, and presumably here is. Would you play LIEU here and turn over a few tiles and just take that triple out there, or what would you do here, Goutham?
Yeah. I think just dubbing the IEU might work. Oh, that actually works too. Yeah, that works too.
That works fine. Fine. He hasn't made any openings at all, but he's got the L for AAL.
I'll prefer LUIT.
Okay, so equity is a lovely play, so this is excellent.
Can he draw a bingo?
We'll see. Looks it depends on the last
Marlon.
There. Refile plus
yes, Marlon has worked.
Whoosh. Okay, so we've obviously got a bingo through the T at the bottom there, and perhaps others. Yeah,
I actually expected him to draw the D, and he actually drew the D. So that's the power of Marlon.
Yeah. Marlon is considered one of the luckiest players in Singapore, is he?
That is true.
I thought Marlon was just skillful. Every time I play him, we seem to have the most extraordinary games that go down to the last second with Marlon throwing things all about the place. But a very great player. We're talking about Marlon Prudencio, who's one of the top players in Singapore, originally from the Philippines. Goutham was born in India, weren't you, Goutham, but represents Singapore and now is a resident there. So he knows Marlon's antics very, very well.
I actually represent India. I don't represent Singapore.
You are a resident of Singapore, do you say?
No, I'm not actually a resident here, so I'm still representing.
Okay. So he's going to put down filtered, which was that his best play there? I
would say that's his only play, but
yeah.
Yeah, it probably is his only play.
Okay, so that's a good reply after being given the tee from Equity, which was opened up there by Elie. So that's Graham Haigh having played filtered, and that gives him a 41-point lead at this stage, which isn't a great deal, because we're now going to see a scoring play at the very least from Elie. Okay. Okay, we're back with you now. Are we back live there, Jess? Yeah, we had a few technical problems from England there, and in the meantime, we've seen a play of Reindid go down in response to Filtered, and we've seen Bap played. Bap was played by Graham Haigh, and we've seen Curated by Elie Dangoor, and we've seen Rex played by Graham Haigh, and at the moment we have a 40-point lead for Graham Haigh against Elie Dangoor here at the National Scrabble Championships from Blackburn. And we've just seen Zine played by Elie, and that's going to catch him right up. We're in for another very exciting game, Goutham. It's very close, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Very few opportunities to bingo here. I virtually none at all. Just maybe going down to the H. There's really nothing. So what's likely to happen here is a very cagey game, full of lots of excitement. I'm absolutely sure.
Yeah, but I think we'll likely see an opening come down when he plays COCK.
Yeah, yeah. Huh?
Unfortunately, a pickup of FEG keeping INGS was not very good. Otherwise, he will probably be bingoing through.
Obviously, here, you know, it's there's a bit of a quandary as to whether you open up the. They've both got S's on their racks. It's not as if you're holding the last S. So it'll be interesting to see what Elie decides here. He's got a little bit of a lead, 14, which could be good.
I think Cock is his only option, really.
Yeah, that is a high-scoring play. It obviously could give a play away, but we can see that it's not going to. And Cock's going down, and no problem with that at all. We love the Cockerels, being Spurs supporters, of course. So a nice word going down. It takes a hook on the front, but that's not going to come into play. So Cock scores 36. And that's going to give Elie a handy lead going into the end of the game. There's a fair bit of Scrabble to be played yet. Any ideas for what we should see on this turn?
Jif and Grex would probably be the best bet, I think. Because if you can just try to distract your opponent by opening up the triple line, then you try to fish for a bingo through the C next turn. Well,
exactly. Yeah, he doesn't really want to block that situation, because it's the last chance possibly to bingo, unless, you know, comes down with some kind of fish over on the H. But you know, that's going to be a lot harder than playing a bingo with ING or something through the C. So
I mean, he also has the option of playing FOG, but then he's going to block off his C, then he can't really bingo anymore.
Yeah.
So it's not really the best option.
Yeah. Of course, if he does, he's going to stop the obvious play of VOM, because at the moment, looking at the looking at the right there, which is Graham's rack, he is stuffed, and I mean stuffed, because he's got nothing there, and and he's going to be faced with the possibility of a change there. I think just on a cursory look there, if he does play Jif and Grex, you know, he will play Vom because it scores and blocks.
Yeah.
But if he was to play Fog and take that spot, you're just gonna have to change there. So there's plenty of Scrabble left in this game.
Yeah, he's going for the FOG.
So he plays Fog, and this game is virtually tied. And we have a situation here where Graham can do nothing. I think there's 14 tiles, so I think there's 7 in the bag. Is that right?
Yeah.
So he's checking that bag and thinking, oh, yippee doo, I can change. So if he couldn't change, he would lose this game. As it is, he's probably going to be in a bit of trouble anyway.
So the next game will be David Webb versus Mark Nyman, which will be quite exciting.
Oh, excellent! That is going to be an absolute treat. Are you still with us, Goutham, for that one?
No, I have to go and eat dinner, so I won't be around.
Okay.
I mean, you already have a second commentary.
It's going to be an absolute treat, David Webb against Mark Nyman. But here we have Graham Haigh against Elie Dangoor, and this is going to be very interesting as to what's going to transpire in the final part of this game. Little opportunities here, and there is it's going to be very cagey. I'm absolutely sure on this one. Graham is taking his time here. They've both got plenty of time left. Graham's sitting on well over 8 minutes. Ellie's got bags of time at getting close to 11. So they've got plenty of time to think about their options here and not make any silly mistakes. So he's actually, you know, got a possibility to score 1 or 2 things. I can see NEMN, for example. I don't know if he wants to do that. When you look at the potential for vowels that there are in the bag, you know. But the thing about this is, you know, it might not be very good to have a balanced rack in the end because there's nowhere to go. He'd certainly love the possibility of playing, you know, ITA if he had an A and going down and making U and pluralizing ZA. I mean, it would just be a huge score and almost put him out of touch. But I'm afraid Graham he just can't really do very much, is what I can see.
He basically has to go and fish and hold draw. He has hold to draw a blank, or it's just something good.
Yeah. Presuming he does change. You know, if he does change, then it'd be interesting to see what Elie does because you know, Ellie's there's plenty of options for him, and he might not decide to block at all. Having the G hook for Grex there is certainly nice. He's already lining up GEM on his rack, so we're seeing a change here to RS.
Yeah, that's.
So we're probably gonna see we might see Gem, GEM go down and Grex at the top, and we're awaiting the draw of Graham Haigh. Graham has got the blank, so that's and an E, and yeah, two E's. Yeah, he was always going to draw vowels there, so that's interesting. We've seen Gem go down there from Elie, who now takes a small but perhaps important lead here. We shall see, but we have the blank there. Is there any bingo through the K there, Goutham?
It might be difficult. Let me check. No, there's nothing.
Nothing through the K. So
the Y is a pretty big spoiler.
The Y is the spoiler. We've got obviously scoring plays above Gem, but if you look down at the bottom there, we've got very big scoring plays for Elie under along the line of curated. So interesting.
Yeah, GAW probably scores like 40 points.
Exactly, and that could be a game winner with the situation at the moment, unless of course we see a kind of fish situation from Graham to use that K.
It depends on how it all depends on how much he wants to risk now, because it's possible that you can just play YE and ER at the top and open up a line, or you can play YE and EH.
Yeah, I mean, I think YE and EH looks very strong. He's going for score. I think this is going to lose him the game in some ways. It might do.
If he draws a bingo, the K, it should be fine.
He's fine. He'll be fine. But he's going to have to draw that, I think. He might draw a bingo to the H. I'm not sure, but looking at the tiles that he's likely to draw here, it looks pretty hard. So N V L. Oh,
I don't think that works with the K though.
No.
No. Does
it go with the H?
Yes, ISH. No. Yes, he has a bingo ending with H.
He has a bingo with the H.
Yeah.
So if Gore goes down, which is obviously what we're expecting here.
It depends on whether he sees the bingo or not, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are they doing a recount?
Not sure.
Yeah, they're checking the score. Yeah.
Okay. So we have a situation where we have a bingo for Graham to the H. It's something he may or may not know. He may be forced into playing it because Gore is expected to go down. If Gore goes down, he's going to have to try something. So here we have a very interesting situation in Scrabble. We're going to see probably Elie take a big lead, and he could. What do you think is going to happen, Goutham?
Well, he has to try ISH something, so he just had to arrange the tiles until something works. Put it down.
Yeah. So I don't think we're spoiling it too much to say that the word is novelish. and it's something he's going to think of ISH. He's going to. Is he going to think? Is there anything else if he didn't know Novelish that he could try, or is there something from the K he might try? You know, I doubt it. I suppose.
The K though.
Yeah, you can't think of any phonies through the K, which is excellent. Yeah, this is very, very interesting. My money is on the fact that he'll get it, because he'll be forced to get it.
Yeah, I think it's time he will. I think he should be getting it. Yeah.
I think he's going to get it, but it's going to be dead interesting. They still seem to be counting, but the idea that you know that Elie won't play GAW is I just can't see that. He's going to play GAW, and then we're going to see the prospect of do we see a bingo from Graham. So very interesting. Scrabble is all about well, it's about so many things, but timing is one of the things. And here we have a classic situation where, in order to take the lead, he has to empty the bag. There's no two ways about it. And in so doing, although he's going to be well ahead, he's going to lose to a final bingo. So if you were a betting man, are you a betting man, Goutham? Would you put your house on either player here?
I'm not. I do not bet at all. I can definitely say.
Yeah, I spend a lot of
my. Always will come down.
Yeah, I have a feeling too. So here we see Gore, which was as expected, and Elie is hoping very much that's going to be enough for him to win. He must have it in his mind that there could be other possibilities with the H. You know, not just that he may not even be able to think of Novelish from his own perspective. He may think there's something in the K. You know, if Graham knows Novelish, it's going to come down very, very quickly, because there isn't anything else. And but if he doesn't, well, I don't know what we're going to see. I'm not so sure that he has any chance of winning. If he might have a chance of winning elsewhere, but I don't think so. He's putting. It looks like he's putting the ISH, and now he's arranging his letters. It's quite amusing seeing it from both perspectives here. So Novelish is the only win we're being told. So will it go down? This is the tension.
He's almost there.
He's almost there. Again, we're in a situation here where we've got pressure. There's not much time for. Oh, there is. You know, he's dropping. It would be worth going overtime here by several minutes just to make sure that he thinks of the right one. He can afford to go over by several minutes and still win. So Novelish is going to score what, about 60 and a bit, and. So he's going to be okay, even if he goes a couple of minutes over time, but 3 perhaps. But there he is, Elvis. Elvis lives, but is Graham going to live to regret this move, or is he going to say, yes, I found it and I won on the last turn? It's always a great pleasure, isn't it, to win on the last turn when you perhaps weren't sure that you were going to win. It's it's one of the great joys. He'll go into the next round thinking, I'm ahead for the first time in my life, I'm ahead. Sounds a bit, yeah. It reminds me of a character from English comedy, Goutham, called Faulty. He ran a hotel as a sitcom, and I remember him saying, "Oh yes, I'm ahead, the first time in my life, I'm ahead." And then he got smacked down and was behind again. So livenish is, what sounds more likely? Novelish, livenish, venalish. I mean, it depends, doesn't it? It depends how, how your mind's working. But
yeah. Well, he
surely
has 3 minutes left to choose whether to snivel or whether to unlive.
Yeah.
He already see unlives, so he's going for unlives. He's going to unlive.
I bet he's wishing this was more of an open game, and there were more places to play, because the rack that he's got combines with many letters and is an absolute beauty. But on a tight board like this with A and an H to play off, there's very little to do. So here you go. He's going for the. He's going.
I wonder what this could be.
Kel.
Okay, well that's.
Oh wow! What a pity. I mean, surely he might have tried something with the H. So there we go. He was going to. This is going to lose anyway. So yeah, it's a pity. I bet he won't want to find out what he could have done. I know I don't really like to be told by people around me during tournaments what I could have done.
Unfortunately, you do have to know.
Told by the people on the next table. Yeah. The only prayer.
You must know, but you can always know after the tournament is over. That might be better.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to see here just a little scoring play from Elie. He can do something at the bottom with MI or something like that. He just makes sure that he doesn't commit the unforgivable error of making a mistake on this turn and handing the win to Graham Haigh anyway. It has been known that under these pressure situations, things can go wrong, but I don't think we're going to see that.
So he can actually just out with in mesh.
In mesh, but the thing about in mesh is he's going to be going, is it a word? I'm not going to risk it, just in case, because he's going to lose.
Yeah, of course.
He won't play in mesh. If I know Elie, he'll just go for something at the bottom like EM, which is what he does. And who's to blame him for that? Because I do exactly the same thing, even though I kind of know in mesh, but I'd only play it if I had to. So he plays EM.
That's true.
He plays EM, and that means that is that. Hopefully, Graham will find his best play with blank S, but it won't be enough. He's 39 behind, and yeah. This was another very interesting game, Goutham. We've been treated to a variety of different Scrabble situations in the 3 games that we've had on. We've seen plenty of mistakes. We've seen a lot of great plays, and I think for anybody watching who's not a tournament player, perhaps we can say that is what Scrabble is all about. It's a game of mistakes, of doing the best that you can with the knowledge that you have, and it's never cut and dried. Here we see RAS, is that? Yeah. And that scores 19, but it won't be enough. It will just minimize the loss there for Graham, who shortly may find out that he missed the winning move, sadly.
He's finally getting a shock of his life.
There's a handshake there, and this was a win for Elie Dangoor, one of the key movers and shakers in the world of Scrabble, in the organisational world of Scrabble, and he has beaten Graham Haigh in round 3 at the National Scrabble Championships at Blackburn in England.